Right now, you probably know exactly what time it is. A glance at your phone, your watch, or the clock on the wall, and you're done. It's automatic. It's invisible. It's everywhere. But here's a question most of us never stop to ask. How did people tell time before any of that existed? No phones, no watches, no electricity, just the sky, the shadows, and a whole lot of clever thinking. Today, we're going back thousands of years to uncover how ancient civilizations tracked the hours, the days, and even the seconds, using nothing but the world around them. Some of these methods are so ingenious, you'll wonder why we ever stopped using them. Let's dive in. Long before anyone invented a device to measure time, humans had one very reliable tool: the sun. Every single day, the sun rises in the east, moves across the sky, and sets in the west. And as it moves, it casts shadows that shift position and length throughout the day. Ancient people noticed this pattern early on. A shadow at sunrise is long and stretched. By midday, it shrinks to almost nothing. By evening, it stretches out again in the opposite direction. This simple observation led to one of humanity's earliest inventions: the sundial. The ancient Egyptians, as far back as 1500 BCE, built obelisks and stone markers specifically to track these shifting shadows. As the sun moved, the shadow would fall across markings on the ground, dividing the day into sections. Later, the Egyptians developed more refined sundials, small, portable devices with notches representing hours. Priests and officials could carry these around, checking the shadow's position to estimate the time of day. The catch? Sundials only worked when the sun was actually out. Cloudy days and nighttime were a completely different problem. One that required a completely different solution. If shadows couldn't help at night, what could? The answer, surprisingly, was water. Around 1400 BCE, the Egyptians invented what's called a clepsydra, or water clock. The concept was elegantly simple. Take a container with a small hole near the bottom, mark measurement lines on the inside, and fill it with water. As the water slowly dripped out, it would pass each marked line at a predictable rate, allowing people to track how much time had passed, day or night, rain or shine. This invention spread far beyond Egypt. The ancient Greeks adopted and improved it, using water clocks to time speeches in courtrooms, making sure no one talked for too long. The Chinese developed remarkably sophisticated versions, some so advanced they could power entire mechanical systems, including bells that rang automatically at set intervals. Water clocks weren't perfect. Temperature changes affected the flow of water, and they required constant refilling. But for over 1,000 years, they were one of the most accurate timekeeping tools humans had ever created. Water wasn't the only substance ancient people relied on. Fire and sand played their part, too. In ancient China, timekeepers used incense clocks, carefully crafted sticks of incense that burned at a steady, predictable rate. Some were even designed with small threads holding weighted balls. As the incense burned down and reached the thread would snap, dropping the ball into a metal bowl below with a small chime. It wasn't just a way to measure time. It was an alarm clock, centuries before the concept existed anywhere else. Then there's the tool most of us instantly picture when we think of ancient timekeeping: the hourglass. Hourglasses became popular in Europe starting around the 14th century. Unlike water, sand doesn't evaporate, freeze, or expand with temperature, which made hourglasses remarkably reliable, especially at sea. Sailors depended on them heavily, using them to measure ship speed, coordinate shift changes among the crew, and navigate across open ocean where no landmarks existed. A simple tool, but one that quite literally helped shape the exploration of the entire world. So far, we've talked about hours and days. But what about longer stretches of time? Weeks, months, entire seasons. For that, ancient civilizations looked up. The stars move across the sky in predictable, repeating patterns throughout the year. Ancient astronomers in Babylon, Egypt, and Central America tracked these patterns with incredible precision, using them to build calendars that predicted seasons, floods, and harvests. The Egyptians, for example, noticed that the star Sirius would reappear in the sky at almost the exact time the Nile River began its annual flood, an event critical for farming. This single observation helped shape one of the earliest solar calendars in human history. Meanwhile, in Mesoamerica, the Maya developed an extraordinarily advanced calendar system, tracking celestial cycles with a level of mathematical precision that still impresses astronomers today. None of this required a single clock. Just patient observation, repeated across generations, passed down as knowledge. Here's what's remarkable about all of this. None of these ancient methods were guesses. They were systems, built through careful observation, trial, and refinement, often over hundreds of years. And here's the strange part. Today, our most advanced clocks, atomic clocks, measure time using the vibrations of a single cesium atom, ticking over 9 billion times every second. It's almost unimaginably precise. And yet, the goal hasn't changed one bit. Ancient priests watching a shadow creep across a stone marker were solving the exact same problem as a modern physicist calibrating an atomic clock in a lab. Different tools. Different centuries. Same question. Every clock you've ever used, every calendar hanging on your wall, every alarm that wakes you up in the morning, all of it traces back to these early ideas. The sundial, the water clock, the hourglass, the stars. We didn't invent the concept of measuring time. We inherited it from people who looked at shadows, water, sand, and stars, and asked the exact same question we still ask today. What time is it? And that's the story of how humanity learned to measure something we can't even see or touch: time itself. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, make sure to subscribe to The Curious Corner for more fascinating stories about the world around us. And let me know in the comments, which ancient timekeeping method surprised you the most? Until next time, stay curious.